Hey guys, JH, welcome to Practice Tee. Okay, today something that probably for everybody. The more accomplished players, they won't need this and they probably won't go there because they don't need it. But for our club player, our rank and file player, weekend player, the guy that has, or the girl that has trouble with consistency in the golf swing, and when they go out having a consistent swing thought and something they can pick up on immediately, start off hitting the ball okay in the round and continue to hit it. Invariably there's always a huge complication of requirement in most golf swings. Sequences, different things you do. But this is a process, guys, that I've found over the years, even for very good players, and particularly people that get absolutely bound up and overwhelmed with trying to do things in their golf swing. Yeah, the paralysis by analysis type situation. Now guys, this is very simplistic and it works all the time. I actually do it myself because I teach a lot of different stuff. I've always got huge amount of swing differentials and mechanics going through my brain all the time, so it does tend to overwhelm me on occasions and I get befuddled, and so I've got to go back to what I call the common denominator, or the base establishment of mechanics and simplicity. And this is basically what I do, guys, and anybody can do it with any golf swing. All I try and do when I'm in a state of befuddlement is just do this. Just take my grip here, and all I try and do is I just try and hinge that hand back there like that lead hand back there, and in conjunction the trail hand hinges back as well. There's no cock action, it's just a hinge action. So they are in this configuration here. We take it back there like that. Here. Now see how that right or that trail wrist is, the formation of it and how it's formed, and how the lead back of the lead hand and the lead wrist is formed. That's all I want to do. I want to do that here. Keep my trail elbow absolutely as close to my torso as I can on the backswing, and just do that, guys. Just force that around there like that here, and then all I want to do on the downswing, because I've got lots of connection with my arms on my body, once I've got that here and I've turned that around to here, I'm not doing anything other than returning the torso and keeping that angle there. I'm not trying to hit the ball, I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just trying to bring that back to the ball with no intention of hitting the golf ball, no intention of releasing the golf club. Absolutely counterintuitive to anything you ever do. But all it is, guys, is we're here at address, we're cocking the club to here, we're getting that formation, that right wrist bent back, the left wrist in that position there. We're taking to the top with real connection of the arms to the body, then we're just turning the body back to the ball with a pure body return pivot, and we're just holding that angle. We're not trying to hit it, we're not trying to do anything. If ever there was a time in the golf swing for a thought process when nothing happens at the ball or after the ball, it's this process. Because as we come in, we're just doing this. We feel like we're doing that. That it all goes around, that's what we feel like. Clearly, you'll find that you'll get rotation and that type of stuff, but the intention and the feeling is that we're not. We're just getting this and we're just holding it. It's that simplistic, guys. We just do that, take it here, and then once we're here we just return and we just keep that back. We don't think about anything else. Forget the club head, forget the shaft, forget the ball. Just keep that angle. What could be simpler than that? Just do that and that. The only difference between that and when you hit the balls, you've got a golf club in your hand. But how simplistic is that? Okay, there's a lot of forces on the downswing that's going to try and open up that angle. Now, I never advocate holding the club back because I'm a free releaser. I mean, I like to get it going early. But for guys that have a bit of trouble with inconsistency and holding the angle, it's how you hold the angle. It's very hard to hold the angle with a wrist cock coming down like that, but it's very easy to hold it from a hinge angle. So easy to do that, guys. I'll just get a just show you the process. And if any of you can dig up on the internet, it was one of the first books I ever read, and it was by a guy named Joe Dante, D-A-N-T-E, and it was the 4 magic moves of golf, and this was the ignition move for Joe off the golf ball. Now, Joe was the latest guy I've ever seen in pictures, in illustrated pictures in the downswing. Joe was here, and all he was trying to do was hold that. Not do anything else, not create a pitch elbow or anything, just do that. And to learn it, just get yourself a wedge, get the connection here. Just think we're going to take that back there like that, and then we're just going to bring the body through and pivot. See here, guys, we've got that angle. Now, that angle stays there because I'm not trying to roll, release the shaft, the head, the toe of the club, or my forearms or hands. I still get release here, but it's a body release. The forearms will come around. They're not releasing by themselves, and the body's dormant. The body's actually holding this angle, and because the arms are glued to the body, the pivot's bringing the club back into the ball, and that angle is maintained accordingly. So we're just here, guys. We just set it here, get that going around the body, that angle. And just do that. I mean, that's the way to learn. But you'll feel like that feeling of setting it and holding it, I actually feel, for myself, I feel like my fingers are actually pulling back. They're pulling back this way on my wrist hinge and the back of my hands. They're actually, if I had like a bar here and I had my fingers around it and I wanted to pull that bar backwards, which is the grip, that's what I feel on that downswing. I'm pulling it backwards and I'm holding it. I'm never trying to get it to go forward. I'm actually pulling it backwards. I'll just hit one this way. And it's just a pure pivot, guys. Now you'll get a look of hold off. You'll get that look. And if you get that look, and feel, then you have actually done that. All right, now I really do this one with a lot of commitment, really hold that back. Now if you watch Steve Elkington, that's exactly what he looks like. And Steve's been here on the end of this range here a couple of years ago hitting balls, and he was out at another range that we were at, and because he's a great ball striker. But that's Steve. Steve holds that angle better than anybody, and he's very, very powerful as a result of that. There's no flippiness. My good friend Martin Ayres, my buddy Martin Ayres, I mean, he's very much that way, and so was Hogan. But it's simplistic, guys. You don't have to think about all the pitch elbow and everything else. Just think about that. Now, if you're doing that and the ball goes left, that means that there's too much emphasis on just doing that and this is not doing anything. You've still got to have all the other normal stuff that you have in a golf swing. As the body pivot moves forward, it should normally transfer the weight into that lead side anyway. It's only if you get so enamoured with this and you just do that in here, the weight will be going this way and the ball will go left. For a right-hander. So guys, I'll hit a really full shot. I get it here and I jam that right elbow in. So, mate, it's a really good shot. The ball will go flat because there's no, you're not flipping loft onto the golf club. It'll go flatter, no question. Go a club flatter. Very Bernard Langerish. That's Bernie. See Bernie with the driver sometimes. He's always here. But he compresses the ball so much. I've never been a compressor and I've never ever tried to hold the club back. It's just not my game. I've always been a free releaser. And I've thrown my angle away by the time I get to here. But I straight line it and then I don't really care. But this one is very much not ever getting rid of the angle. Now it's the simplicity of being able to do it. A lot of people say hold the lag. But how do you do that? This is easy, just keep that back there. Just keep pulling back with those fingers on the grip. As you come down, keep pulling them back like that. You never want that to open up. And the only way it gets to the ball is that the body delivers it. That's simple, guys. So we've got this high lead elbow. Now the ball goes really straight and it never goes left. It won't go left. No way it'll go left. You've got too much of this. It's almost a clockwise rotation of the forearms through the ball as a feeling. Only a feeling. All right, now we'll really try and do a good job. That was the first couple of shots. Just hold it back, guys. Don't think about anything else. That's perfect. Wow. Don't get to the stage where you get, too fixated on keeping that and then don't make a turn. You've got to make a turn. And you've got to stay connected and you've got to make a return because the return is the only thing that gets the club back to the golf ball. Your hands are not going to be coming in and throwing it. It's actually, if you got to here and you kept that angle and you got in here and you stopped rotating, it wouldn't release. You just hit a straight right. And that's the other thing, guys. If you hit a straight right, you're not continuing your body rotation through the golf ball. Oh, that's just such a good shot. In terms of contact. That's a very small, little compact golf swing. Here. And that's all it is. Because there's a lot of hard thinking with normal people say, oh, you hold the lag and do this and drive it. I just find that if you connect up, do that there, and the right arm now is really jammed in, and I'm here, and if I keep that connection, the only way I can get the club back to the ball is re-rotate the body. Now the hands are totally isolated, guys, completely. I'll just hit a couple with the driver. And it's great with the driver because it gives you a very, very level attack on the golf ball, very level, and really good impact. Here. Well guys, I don't know if you can hear it on these mics, but that contact was so good. Really good. Now as the club gets longer, you've got to have more effort to hold it in the same place because there's more radial dynamics and pull out that'll want to pull that angle open, so you've got to really work against that. Alright, so we can hit a really good one. Down the pipeline, as Mo would say. That's really straight. Now guys, as I've been saying, I've been struggling with, I've got a really injured rotator cuff, so it's been difficult. And I've been struggling with that. Okay, so we're just going to hold the angle and do the body pivot. And that's all it is. You must maintain that, keep the connection there, and then fire the pivot through the golf ball. Okay guys, a very simplistic process. Get yourself a 9-iron, a wedge, or an 8-iron, or whatever, and just get the feeling of holding that back. And the connection here, and even with a short shot, a little wedge, 9-iron, 8-iron, you still want to have that body pivot release and that retention of that angle there. And just hit some little 50, 60 metre shots to get that jam feeling and the body pivot release. Okay guys, have a look at that. It's just a simplistic way of being able to take all the extraneous sorts of the golf swing with all the myriad of mechanics that we get tied up with on occasions. There's only a couple of things there. It's that setting of that angle, maintaining that angle, feeling like you never ever want to release that angle, and just getting the body, because of the connection of the arms, to return the club to the ball. Think about that. Very simplistic. Okay guys, have a look at that, and we'll do a little bit more on it maybe tomorrow.